Sluts selling butts, them buttholes never sold. Dogs breeding like bugs, or rabbits or coat hangers. Killers killing and killing and killing. Nielsen News. 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 Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing. Nielsen News. 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 Oh. Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing. Nielsen News. 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 News.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Nelson. And good evening, Andy Masterson. So, yeah, some more horrible stories of, murders. A weird story involving the embalming of a sex offender. And things went awry. Or did it? Oh, we'll see. A ghost hunter, his wife turns lethal, something like that. Child abuse, of course. And, well, that's about that. Yeah, that kind of sums it all up. So, anyway, we'll just get right to it. And perhaps, time permitting, one of these characters, or maybe two, I don't know, will deserve to have their portrait done by yours truly. Won't that be nice? Well, maybe. I don't know. All right. Well, the first one is kind of the more interesting of the batch. So we'll get into that one. Okay. Let me make sure it is. Hey, look, it is. Oh, I guess since I got to have my begging strip down there at the bottom. Might as well turn the camera off for that one. Okay. Embalmer busted for funeral home horror. Cops say a woman who was 34 used a scalpel to cut off male corpses' genitals. Good Lord, is this the weapon in Germany? Anyway, an embalmer at a Texas funeral firm used a scalpel to mutilate a sex offender's corpse, then stuffed the decedent's severed penis in his mouth. Jeez. The shocking incident occurred last month at Memorial Mortuary and Crematory in Houston and resulted in the arrest of Amber Page Loudermilk, 34, for abuse of a corpse. Investigators have identified the dead man as Charles Roy Rodriguez, 58, a registered sex offender who lived in Brookside Village, a Houston suburb. Rodriguez was convicted of sexually assaulting a a 31-year-old woman, and was judged a moderate risk, according to the Texas Offender Registry, which lists him as being required to remain on the registry for the entirety of his life. Also, now that he's dead, I guess he's not on it anymore. You know? Well, anyway, as detailed in a court filing, within minutes of funeral company management learning of Rodriguez's criminal history, a crematory employee told a co-worker that she observed Loudermilk, that's Loudermilk, cut off the decedent's penis halfway and stuff it is his mouth. You mean in his mouth. Rodriguez is pictured below. Is he? Oh, there's Rodriguez. She put my penis where? In your mouth. Upon learning of the mutilation, the memorial mortuary and crematory manager went to the cremation room to look for themselves and notice the genitals had been mutilated. And the penis was in his mouth. Not his mouth, Rodriguez. A provisional embalmer told... Provisional? I don't know. I guess the regular guy had the day off. I don't know. And told police that she witnessed Loudermilk stab decedent Rodriguez twice with a scalpel in the groin and then cut off his penis and place it in the decedent's mouth. You didn't see anything, Loudermilk reportedly said, according to one worker who told police she perceived the statement to be threatening. According to investigators, a funeral director said she saw Loudermilk fondling the mouth of the decedent, adding that the decedent's penis was in his mouth. Loudermilk, the director said, responded by quickly covering the groin area with a towel and stated that the decedent had a lot going on with him. What? That's okay. So, a judge today set Loudermilk's bond at $5,000 with the condition that the defendant may not be employed as an embalmer while this case is pending. Also, I'm wondering if she can't go anywhere near the corpse, you know. I don't know. I mean, it was a crematory. So did they, cremate him? You know, maybe they have to hold the corpse for evidence, you know? I don't know. So Texas Funeral Service Commission records list Loudermilk's specialty as embalmer. Oh, not castrator. Okay. And her license status as suspended. Loudermilk's home address is listed as a Houston property owned by her 67-year-old mother. Well, look, you know, he was a sex offender. She didn't like him for that reason and decided to, mutilate his corpse, put his dick in his mouth. And the whole thing, I guess, was going to be shoved into the incinerator, you know, the furnace, what have you. And nobody would know, I suppose. But then some snoopy other fellow employee had, hey, she just put that guy's dick in his mouth. So, you know, I guess that's the mugshot or whatever, you know. But anyway, you know, strange things can happen at the funeral home. Nodak says, hit the like button. Yeah. Andy mentioned, I heard about the ghost hunter's wife. Yeah, I just, that's one of the stories. Yeah. Andy Master says, he's unlikely to offend again if he keeps his mouth shut. If he knows what's good for him. Swift -1 says the turquoise person is still waving. Andy Masterson says, hey, Matt. All right. So that's it for the funeral home horror, you know. Well, I mean, look, the guy was dead. His problems are over. So it's probably fine. Well, I wouldn't know. So I don't know what would be the mitigating circumstances. She suffered abuse and stuff like that, perhaps. And this guy represented for her all the people who had wronged her. And, well, she struck back. And so there you go. It was a mouthful. Nodak says, you can't spell funeral without fun. That's true. This could also be the mitigating circumstance. She's like, come on, it's hilarious. And they're like, God damn it. I hate to admit it, but you got me. It's pretty funny. All right, you can go. But again, you can't go anywhere near the corpse. I'm sorry, there's got to be some restriction here. I mean, I'm a judge. What else am I supposed to do? That's my whole deal, is, meting out punishment or something. I don't know. Good Lord, this is all messed up. Okay. All righty. We'll go to this next story. Oh, boy, this ought to be fun. I don't even remember what it is. Oh, yeah, a devoted daughter story. That's always good. So we'll check this one out. There we are. New York woman found guilty of killing her mother and dumping body near farm equipment. Why the farm equipment? I don't know. So there she is. Gee, this is a really crappy photo. I know, right? So a 33-year-old woman has been convicted of killing her mother and leaving her body near farm equipment. I don't know if that adds to the charges, as if that's some sort of violation as well. But anyway, Cortland County District Attorney's Office announced March 7th that a jury found Ariella, I guess, Thran, guilty of second-degree murder in connection with the death of her mother, Patricia Allison Halverson. The defendant will be sentenced on May 6 and faces a minimum of 10 years to life and up to 25 years to life. According to prosecutors, on January 3rd, 2024, law enforcement responded to Halverson's home to perform a welfare check and located her body near a piece of farming equipment exposed to the elements. Now, I don't think they mean the elements of the farm equipment. I think they mean the elements of nature. So I mean, probably some animals gnawed on the corpse and all that sort of thing. The farm equipment could be a tractor. Could be a disc cultivator or something like that. I don't know. Probably a tractor though. Anyway, prosecutor Richard Van Donsel, Captain Donsel, no, it was Donsel, wasn't it? Argued that Thran went to her mother's home on December 27th, 2023, and her children visited their grandmother. While there, Thran and Halverson reportedly got into an argument that turned physical. Halverson sustained 14 strikes to the back of her head during the altercation. Thran and her mother previously had a fight over an income rental property in Lacona, New York. Thran was allegedly receiving income for the property, but Halverson wanted to take control of the operations and revenue. Thran's attorney argued horses had killed Halverson by knocking her down, stomping, and trampling her. Prosecutors said this was a particularly challenging case, as no murder weapon was able to be recovered in the investigation. Well, geez, did they question the horses? I don't know. Could this have been they got into an argument and the mom said, I can't talk to you when you're like this, went outside to mess around, and then, I don't know, pissed off the horses, and, well, that was it. Since they can't even, I mean, I assume there's trauma to the body, the back of her head hit, but what was she hit with? You know, it could have been a hoof instead of, I don't know, a bat or something. This is weird, but she's been found guilty, you know. So you're looking at 10, maybe a little more. Maybe the full 25. Yeah, she'll probably do 10, maybe 8. I don't know. Oh, that's odd. What do the comments say? Oh, they're not there. All right, well, whatever. It's still kind of a mystery, isn't it? Did the horses do it? And again, did they question the horses? Probably not. Oh. But, you know, what are you going to do? Oh, damn it. I keep forgetting it's right here. Oh, jeez. It's so embarrassing. Hey, man. Nodak, oh, yeah. Tex Caliber. I grew up 10 miles from Brookside Village. Don't hotel, LOL. Glad I'm out of that hole. Well, all right. Well, congratulations. Andy Matchison, oh dear, farm equipment. By the way, that's a good point to make. Tonight's program brought to you by John Deere. Not really. So, I mean, they just found the body near the equipment. For some reason, they thought that was important to mention. I doubt that any of the equipment was used in the execution of the crime. And still, one of the horses may yet confess, you know, and then she'll get out. So Andy Masterson says, hail Tex Caliber and Nodak. Jason Shelley, maybe they'll continue charges. Murder and improper disposal of a body. Oh, yeah, because like the part of the thing is like, good Lord, you left the body near farm equipment? How disgraceful can you get? Andy Masterson, Tim Walsh on Interpret Equine. Tim Walsh was... Yeah, sure, he'll figure it out. Nodak, yeah, I don't know what that means. And Andy Masterson. Tex Caliber, hail Andy and chat. I got the stream on my TV. Wow, that sounds fancy. Yeah, that would mean I'm on TV now. Maybe it's time for my close-up. Oh, well. Hey, look, I tried. That's what matters. All right, well, there's more stories of where that came from. So let me see here. Blah, blah, blah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, yeah. Well, here we go. Great strides in parenting, apparently. And once again, I got to make sure it is there. And we'll turn the camera off. See, all that nice stuff. Girl forced to walk to school along busy highway in the dark for 90 minutes because dad didn't feel like driving. So I'm guessing this is dad. I mean, we're done with the, you can't just assume that, right? Yeah. Do not enter. It's a truck center. But then how do the trucks get in there? I guess they just mean no cars can go. I don't know. Anyway, the parents of a grade school age girl in Texas were charged with endangering her safety when the girl's father would drive her to school. Talijah Manea Connor, 23, and Devontae Tremaine Hall, 27, were arrested by Midland police after their young daughter was spotted walking alone along Rankin Highway while it was dark outside. Police responded to calls from dispatch about the girl and eventually found her on the busy road 1600 block, according to reporting by KMID, a local ABC affiliate. All right, we won't hold it against them. The girl told police that she was walking to her elementary school after her father refused to drive her there. Oh boy, she really sold out dad, huh? The police officers took the girl into their vehicle to warm her up. and give her a snack. As they had a conversation to find out more about why she was walking by herself, she reportedly said that it was her first time walking to school from her home. K-Mid estimated using Google Maps. Clever. The walk from her home to Peace Magnet, or Peas Magnet. Okay. Elementary school would have taken an estimated hour and a half. Police believe that the girl had already been walking for 45 minutes. Well, she was almost there, But would she have gotten there in time, or was she going to be late? You're tardy. The girl reportedly told police that she didn't know where she was going and that she had almost been hit by a car while crossing the street. K-Mid also mapped out the route from where the girl was found to the elementary school and estimated that she was still another hour and a half away from her destination. So she was really off course. Investigators interviewed both Connor and Hall and placed them under arrest for abandoning and endangering a child with imminent danger. The traffic and God knows what the hell kind of creeps are out there, They were booked into the Midland County Detention Center and posted bail. Their arrest dates and future court dates were not publicly available. Well, whatever, but, he just didn't feel like driving that day, And she was like, okay. And I guess that's pretty much the road she was walking down, except, really dark. Oh, well, doesn't sound like a good idea to me. But then what do I know? I don't have a young kid. So who am I to judge? Okay, text caliber, face fuchsia tongue out, face fuchsia tongue out, face fuchsia tongue out. Nodak says, it's a salute. O is the head, 7 is an arm saluting. Oh, yeah, look at that. Now, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now that you mention it, I think someone told me this before, probably you. So, even though I said now that I've seen it, I won't unsee it, probably going to unsee it. Otherwise known as forgetting it. Oh, well, we'll do this again soon. Kevin, please, Doug, no close-ups. All right. Jeez. God. Look, my makeup girl quit. So, St. Ranger, you just can't assume that. Made me laugh. Well, yeah. Those were the rules, weren't they? Kevin, she threw her dad under the bus. Yeah, where's the bus? Don't they have school buses? I guess that might be the mitigating circumstance that she was late for the bus, and Daddy said, well, you're on your own now. You could have just said, well, then I guess I'm not going to school, Kevin, I don't feel tardy. Well, now you're here on time. St. Ranger, it was good for her. Her mom is still saying. She learned a powerful lesson that day. She just didn't learn how to get to her school, apparently. She took off walking, but then after a while, 45 minutes later, I don't know how to get there. And Odak, I thought it was a law you couldn't name kids you mean in news stories? Well, basically, she was abandoned somewhat, and that's about it. No serious harm was done to her and that sort of thing. Had she been, abducted by some weirdo, and that, they probably kept it private or whatever. But I guess it's the nature of the crime. Or I'm completely wrong and they just screwed up. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, They name her in the school she goes to. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, we know the. I'm already forgetting the Peace School. Oh, Peace Magnet. Peace Magnet. Jason Shelby. My grandfather told me a story similar to this. He had to walk both directions in 3 feet of snow. His parents were never arrested. Oh boy, those were the days, huh? And he liked it. Andy Masterson, that kid is going to have her own. When I was your age, I had to walk to school. Yeah. She's not going to take no crap from her kids. Nodak, LOL, I did tell you that before. Hilarious. All right. Well, it'll be new to me. The early onset of dementia is hilarious, isn't it? Angel Guzman, 3-star Uber rating. Oh, yes. She could have gotten an Uber. However, would Uber be accommodating? I don't know. Probably not necessary in her case. All right. Blah, blah, blah. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, the ghost story. That ought to be fun. So we've had the embalmer. We haven't gotten to any. Well, we're getting to it. Yeah, this is a ghost story and murder. Yeah, okay. Blah, blah, blah. The quote is, I chose to end his existence. Wife of Ghost Adventure star tried to send him to the afterlife. Was this supposed to be for the show so that he would appear as a ghost? Huh. I was going to say she almost looks like Kat Tiff, but I guess not. She does look like somebody, though. Anyway, the wife of a reality television star was arrested in Las Vegas, Nevada, after police said she tried to hire someone to kill her husband. Victoria Goodwin, more like Badwin, 32, was placed under arrest on March 6 after Clark County police confronted her with evidence that she allegedly attempted to have her husband, Aaron Goodwin, 48, killed. Aaron Goodwin is part of the paranormal investigation team on the Discovery Plus series, Ghost Adventures. A lot of ghosts travel around and have solve crimes and stuff, and these guys film it. That's their adventures. According to the arrest report obtained by DMZ, Victoria Goodwin allegedly communicated with a ghost? No, with an inmate in Florida in October 2024, who in turn communicated with someone on the outside who would be able to carry out the alleged plot. At one point, according to the report, Victoria Goodwin allegedly asked in a text message with the inmate, "Am I a bad person? I mean, I have the word good in my name, but only through marriage, though. But really, am I a bad person? Because I chose to end his existence, not divorce." She's sparing him the stress and pain of a divorce. According to the arrest report, Victoria Goodwin allegedly provided information about where her husband was filming his show in California. And when police said that Victoria Goodwin had allegedly saved up a total of $11,515 to pay for the murder and exchanged several messages about a $2,500 down payment. At one point, an alleged text message between the inmate and his man on the outside seemed to indicate that Aaron Goodwin was lucky to be alive. The report stated that the text from the inmate to the would-be hitman read, "He's asleep right now in the hotel room. I need to know what's going on. Can I get an update? Was it done?" Oh, wait a minute. This is the inmate. So this is his message. How did he know he was asleep in the hotel room? I mean, because he's locked up. I mean, I mean, this was in California. He's in prison in Florida because it's not like the prison was next door to the hotel, right? Anyway, the alleged plan was kiboshed when Florida corrections officers confiscated the inmate's contraband phone. Yeah, boy, I tell you, yeah, you decided to talk to an inmate. Hey, could you find me a hitman to kill my husband? Yeah. I mean, no one will ever track it to. Good Lord. Yes, you're a bad person, Victoria. You're also extremely stupid. When Victoria Goodwin was presented with the evidence against her, she denied that she wanted her husband killed and told police that she didn't remember the messages she sent. Yeah, you could have said, I was joking. Come on. I'm into sick humor and stuff. You dummies. Giggle tee hee. She also reportedly claimed that the money she was sending to the inmate was meant to be used to buy cell phones. I felt sorry for him. He didn't have like a phone, so I was helping him get one. Victoria Goodwin did reportedly admit to police that she felt she and her husband were having problems in their marriage, and she fantasized about being without him. But you know his ghost was going to haunt you, right? So you were never going to be free of him. TMZ reported that Aaron Goodwin was blindsided and devastated by his wife's alleged plot and believed his marriage was happy. Boy, you see, you're spending too much time with the ghost there, Aaron. You didn't have a clue. Oh, man, oh, man. Well, Victoria Goodwin was charged with solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder. She was booked into the Clark County Detention Center, that's jail, on $100,000 bail on March 6th and remains in custody. Wow. She couldn't come up with that scratch, huh? During an initial court appearance on March 7th, she was ordered to have no contact with her husband while she's in jail. So, problem solved, huh? Let's see here. None of the contact killers I know have an installment plan. All right. Van Duke says, oh man, this was a real one. Unlike all the other fake stories they do, what the hell? Not one of those dumb ones where they contact a fake hitman website or something. Yeah, it was the corrections officers, went through the guy's stuff like they always do in jail or prison. And hey, look at this, a cell phone. And they went through it. Holy crap, he's contracting a hit job and all that. Cometista? Well, if victim Aaron Goodwin is half as much of an irritating drama queen in real life as he is in that pathetic excuse for a paranormal show, and Zach Baggins is even worse. So not a fan of the ghost show. Shiva Beach. I think she is in trouble plenty. Well, you're probably right, Shiva. You're probably right. Oh, boy, they were happy at one time, but she felt the ghosts were getting more attention. And she's like, how am I supposed to compete with ghosts? And she decided to send him where he seems to want to be with the ghosts. Maybe that was her thinking. It's like, see, I'm not really a bad person, right? Right? Guys? I mean, she was seeking that a comfort from an inmate, Am I bad? And he said, no. And then I felt really rest assured. Giggle tee hee. Oh, well. And blah, 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 blah. Kevin says, you are peace magnet and I am steel. Yeah. That's beautiful. Saint Ranger, her peace is like a magnet for D, so they call her Peace Magnet. Well, yeah. Saint Ranger, Miss Bad Loss. All right. Text Caliber, my eyesight is already in the afterlife. LOL. Face red, droopy eyes. Good Lord. Nodak, in her defense, she was just trying to scare the bejesus out of him so his soul would leap out of his body just like that Bill Cosby documentary, Ghost Dad. Is that how that went? You know, boo, ah! And the spirit goes flying away. Oh, I'm out of my body. Could you just leave it on the couch? Yeah, you're not gonna mess with it, are you? I mean, if you are, let me watch. So anyway, Kevin, if you have to ask whether you're a bad person, you probably are. That seems typical, isn't it? Am I a bad? Yeah. Oh, see, I don't even know what you're up to. Jason Shelley, she caught him in bed with a succubus. That's a good possibility. Yeah. I mean, you can't see the succubus, but he's like, raging and everything. And so she's like, damn it, I knew it. Crime of passion and all that. Andy Masterson, on account, it was murder, Eddie. Andy Masterson, he almost spent a lot more time with the ghost. Yes, it could have been a special episode. I mean, the other guys in the show are like, damn, we almost had a special episode. And the guy's, what the hell, man? She was going to kill you. I know. But still, man, that would have been something. Oh, well, that's where they can do it. Aaron, are you with us? Speaking to the phone. Are you hearing it? Okay, let's play it back. And then he's like, fuck you. It's him. Oh, Kevin, I love the word kaboshed. Kaboshed. Oh, wow. I didn't even know it did that when I selected it. I love the word kaboshed. Oh, that's something. Oh, okay. Angel Guzman. Aaron almost became Casper's best friend. He did indeed. Maybe, well, again, from her point of view, she probably says, look, I was doing him a favor. Tex Caliber, once you go ghost. Yeah, he just lost all interest in her and everything. Poor woman. Saint Ranger, my dad used the phrase, put the kibosh. Oh, boy, did I get that wrong. On that to mean stop it. Yeah. But that's, I guess that's what the correctional officers did for her big plot to save her husband from this world. Cass, the resident artist, says, Dub, Tass, what are you doing up at this hour? Isn't it a school night? Oh, my goodness, Tass. Nodak, maybe he found that ghost from Ghostbusters that hooked up with Dan Aykroyd and got jealous. Oh, good Lord, that's right. You could understand her jealousy. Because, I mean, holy crap. That was one hot ghost. Kevin says, hello, Tass. Tass, the resident artist, says, Kevin, how are you, man? Kevin says, doing good, Tass. Good to see you. Well, there you go. That's nice. All right. Okay, that was the ghost story. It's all downhill from here on out. Is this the next one? It is. So that should work. Da 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 da. Oh, I did it again. Usually I have two different. Yeah, never mind. We'll close that. Then I will go and read the story. And it's this. Creating an environment for bacteria to grow. What could this mean? Couple left 11-year-old special needs boy in one place without moving him until he died from extensive lesions, sepsis, etc. So here's the lovely couple. Yeah. Again, this face is like uh-huh, really? And he's like, I wish I could be at 7-Eleven. So an Arizona woman and her boyfriend are going to prison after their neglect of her 11-year-old with special needs. So it's not even his kid. It's hers, some other dude, you know. Anyway, Ariel Lee Horn, 34. 34, really? Yeah, I guess. Received a 7-year, 7 years? That's it? While her 30-year-old boyfriend, Charles Jackson McClellan Jr., will spend 3.5 years behind bars. I guess he was just the boyfriend who was, in and around, So they figured, oh, well, you had to have known, right? Well, that's not my kid. Both will receive credit for the roughly 10 months of jail time already served. Well, yeah, but a 7-year prison sentence. She's probably not going to do 7, this is absolutely disgusting. Tucson police said in a press release its investigation began in November 2023 when officers responded to a home on the 900 block of East Limberlost Drive for a report of an unresponsive child. Paramedics from the Tucson Fire Department pronounced the boy dead on scene. Detectives from the agency's Child Physical Abuse Unit assumed the investigation and after conducting several interviews learned the boy, who was completely dependent on care from his guardians, was suffering from numerous medical conditions. Horn was the boy's mother. An autopsy showed he had numerous lesions throughout his lower body and subsequently developed sepsis. Cops never publicly identified the boy. The sores on the child's body were attributed to not receiving proper medical attention and neglect by his mother and her boyfriend. Yeah, it takes a while to develop those, but they just abandoned this kid to some room, and that's it. And, it's not like, oh, geez, I had a lot going on. Detectives also found the pair were heavy fentanyl users. So there you go. That's the distraction, There were 3 other children who lived in the home. Good Lord. The school officials also sounded the alarm when they saw all the sores on the boy. So he was going to school. What the hell? They said he would need a doctor's appointment before returning to school. Boy, that probably so then but the couple never took the boy to the doctor and he missed several appointments. So they just left him at home. Cops said the boy would spend long periods without being moved or adjusted. So I guess his condition is such he can't walk and whatnot. And so they just left him in a corner somewhere, creating an environment for bacteria to grow and skin to break down. So that's like, you got to move people when they're bedridden and whatnot. Otherwise, they'll develop the bed sores and what have you. So, which is what allowed the sores and lesions to develop. Cops arrested Horn and McClellan on May 1st on charges of first-degree murder and child abuse. And she's getting 7 years. The 2 in January agreed to plead guilty to intentional child abuse, a 3rd-degree felony, according to the record. I don't know. I think you could have won this case and screw him for the deal, People, let's see here. More chat in the chat. Kevin says, that was saying good to see Tass. Spurg Snake. Oh, my favorite news program. Well, here it is. Tass, the resident artist Snackaroo, I guess Snakaroo for Spurg Snake. Saint Ranger, have you seen the 1965 horror movie Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte? Yes. Yes, I did. I saw it when I was 5. Good Lord. Recently saw it was on YouTube. Film has a ghost element. Yeah, it's almost like a Scooby-Doo plot, right? Susan Dolan, hail and good night, Andy Masterson. Saint Ranger, what a princess and prince. Yeah, quite the pair. Kevin, the guy looks like what are you arresting me for? Yeah, because he's probably thinking I was barely around. Yeah, but you saw the helpless kid with the sores and everything, right? Well, ain't my kid. I'm just here, Spurg Snake, wow. Yeah, Susan Dolan, hail, Nodax at Swift -1 task. He says hi to everybody. Text Caliber, exactly. Andy Masterson, good night, Susan Dolan. Nodak saluting Susan Dolan. Now, Doug, salute means salute. This is the O is a head and the 7 is an arm saluting, LOL. That strangely sounds familiar. I would say once it's been seen, it cannot be unseen. But knowing my aging, rotting brain, I probably will forget it. And we're probably going to have this same conversation again. So I just thought I'd warn you ahead of time, But, if it's new to you, it's whatever. Susan Dolan, hail, everybody. Spurg Snake, that's not enough. A deal? Good grief. Yeah, I know. I mean, how lazy of a prosecutor are you? He's like, oh, God, I don't want to go through this trial. Look, let's just say it's child abuse. You'll get 7. You'll do 3. Really? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Susan Dolan, hail Douglas Nelson. Sure, why not? I mean, I'm the one doing the show. Yeah. Text Caliber, hail Susan, trophy yellow smiling. I don't know, the most trophies, I've never noticed them smile at all. Oscar never smiles. And who can blame him at this point? Look what they did to his show. He's utterly meaningless now. Poor fella. He should be retired so he can finally sit down. Yeah. Spurg Snake says hi, Susan Dolan. Task the resident artist says, Ms. Dolan. Task the resident artist. It do be that way, Dub. Yes. Kevin says, hail Susan Dolan. Angel Guzman, I'm going to have nightmares of that baby crawling on the ceiling in Train Spotting. More than likely. More than likely. Do you think that's where they stole that for those Japanese horror movies and stuff? Well, then there's that Exorcist 3 where the old lady was crawling like Spider-Man on the ceiling and George C. Scott didn't see her because, he's on the floor walking around. And it felt like ended up on the ceiling. He didn't look up, because why would you, But there she is. Crawling around like Spider-Man. And I got to hand it to her that, it did look like fun. I don't know about at that age. When I was a kid, I wanted to crawl the walls like Spider-Man. I tried. It didn't work. No. All right. What's the other story? Do I have no? Oh, yeah. I did say murder in the title, so we got to get to. Well, that one wasn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Looks like it's worked because I can never trust it. I've had problems. Well, all these quotes, I offed him. Man comes home early from trip to find wife in bed with teen, stabs interloper to death, and stuffs body in trash. I'm assuming the interloper is the teen. So this looks to be the husband. I guess this is the teen. Again, if he's a teenager, he's a minor, right? And here they are showing his picture and his name. 18. Okay, well, all right, that's an adult. Anyway, a Tennessee man. Oh, boy, it's too bad Pat's not here. This is a local story for him. A Tennessee man returning early from a trip was allegedly met with an unwelcome surprise when he arrived home. His 31-year-old wife is in bed with a barely 18-year-old man. Well, at least he was a man. What if it was, the dog in a jar of peanut butter? Authorities say 41-year-old Jonathan Belk proceeded to stab 18-year-old Billy J. Floyd. Geez, that sounds like a character from a story, to death and stuff his body in a trash can. It happened Saturday at a home in the 400 block of Powerline Road in Dunlap, which is about 40 miles north of Chattanooga. Wow, this is getting close to Pat Dixon's neck of the woods. Huh. When police arrived at the home, they found Belk standing in his doorway covered in blood. Cops discovered Floyd's body in the fetal position, stuffed in a trash can. Belk later allegedly admitted to detectives that he attacked Floyd. Belk's wife also was injured in the attack. She arrived at the hospital suffering from stab wounds. Detectives asked Belk if he was concerned about any major issues other than his legal woes. I am worried about my relationship with my wife. Jeez. Due to the fact that I offed him. Yeah, that might be a factor. Belk is now facing several charges, including criminal homicide as opposed to perfectly legal homicide. He remains at the Sequatchie County Jail. All right. Floyd was from Jasper and went by Lil Bill. His obituary said he just turned 18 3 days before his death. Oh, geez. Was this like a birthday thing? I don't know. He enjoyed hunting, fishing, four-wheelers, and working on everything, the obituary said. He mostly enjoyed spending time with his family and friends. A family friend started a GoFundMe to raise costs for funeral expenses. Well, some bored old housewife seduced this young man, and he had to pay the price for it. I don't know what to the extent of her wounds were, but it's like she's the one who made the vows to this guy. But oh well, that's how that went. Let's see what the public think. Van Duke says, I would have hid in the closet and watched. Oh. John Smith continues to have 0. He enjoyed hunting, fishing, four-wheelers, and banging everything, including married women. Oh, jeez, come on. Yeah. I mean, that's... Belk's wife, also injured in the attack. She arrived at the hospital. Said, I hope they hurt like a motherfucker. Boy, they were really upset about the wife, I'll never understood how a grown woman could be attracted to a boy. John Smith weighs in, and the boy was old enough to know this was just wrong. I'll admit I laughed when I read the part about him being thrown. Jesus! Well, it's amazing what people will say when they're hiding behind, names. But anyway, there you go. It didn't end well, What are you going to do? Oh, good Lord. See, I wonder, I guess like the trip was like a business trip or whatever. And he's like working providing for her and stuff. And what happens when he gets home? Damn it, Kevin, those damn interlopers. Yeah, so that's, I guess he didn't, for his 18th birthday, he decided to be an interloper. I don't know. Task, good night, gang. Love choose. It is a school night. That's right. Good night, Task. Kevin, instead of getting mad, he should have joined them in a threesome. Two guys and a girl. Susan Golden, good night, Taz. Spurg Snake, good night, Taz. Taz resident artist, love chew, Kevin. See you around. Taz resident artist, Snake, love chew, man. Madolan, Spurg, Dub. Spurg Snake, face, red heart shape. Yeah, possible. Kevin says, good night, Taz. Have a good day tomorrow. You know, at school. Taz says, Note Act 2. Text caliber, chicken and liquor. If only there had been some chicken and liquor, things might have calmed down. And the kid said, hey, man, I'm sorry, but I was horny and shit. He said, yeah, get out of here. And then him and the wife talked things over chicken and liquor. And maybe it would have been fine. I doubt the marriage would have survived, but at least everybody would be alive. Why can't everything be about chicken and liquor? I'll never know. I don't drink. So let's see. What else do I have for your I guess this is the last one. Of course, I could do the pop culture does. Could do that. I don't even remember what this one was. Well, we're about to find out. I gotta turn this stupid camera off. Yeah. Well, it wasn't showing up anyway. Whatever. Festival attendee bit chunk out of deputy's scalp, exposing his skull. Then complained he had hair in his teeth. Well, next time, pick a bald victim, I guess. I don't know. A Florida man, of course, who bit off part of a deputy's scalp while attending a music festival last spring, pled guilty to aggravated battery and is headed to prison. James Michael Anderson, 37, was one of many people arrested at Soul Fest, an EDM music and arts festival that was held in Ponce de Leon, Florida, in early May 2024. Blah, blah, covered the event. The rest of Anderson, who was accused of biting an unnamed Holmes County Sheriff's deputy on the head, tearing off part of his scalp and exposing his skull. Anderson was also accused of trying to grab the deputy's firearm from his holster. See, that when you do that, then the officer has full of a right to blow you away. Probably should. Anyway, according to Holmes County Chief Prosecutor Jacob Cook, Anderson complained afterward that he had hair in his teeth. He was sitting there going, puh, 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 puh. There's hair in my teeth. In a press release, Cook said the injury to the deputy, who has since recovered and returned to work, was the most severe bite wound I have ever seen in my career as a prosecutor. Cook stated that he was ready to go to trial and was prepared to call the injured deputy to testify before Anderson entered his plea. The deputy reportedly suffered significant scarring as a result of Anderson's attack. So according to, an affiliate, 68 people were arrested at last year's Soul Fest, mostly for drug possession of substances. You mean drug possession of drugs, including marijuana? Cocaine, ecstasy, mushrooms, and MDMA, also known as Molly. Boy, I bet Molly gets a lot of crap, State Attorney Larry Bassford said in the press release that more than 10,000 people attended Soul Fest last year. So WGHG, not GH, JH, whatever, damn it, reported that among the arrests was a Soul Fest staffer, and the mayhem led to new ordinances for outdoor gatherings and legal action against the event's promoter. Oh, man, that's got to be a headache. Oh, well. Anderson was taken into custody on May 5th, 2024, and charged with aggravated battery of a law enforcement officer. He pled guilty to the charge and was sentenced by a judge to 6 years in prison, followed by 10 years of felony probation. So it's 6 years, but that's almost the amount. And with the 10 years probation, it's like a tougher sentence than the couple who basically tortured a special needs kids to death through neglect. It's a weird world, you know. Well, let's see the public. Yeah, Florida, man. Yeah. What a dumbass. The U.S. must protect our southern border, build a wall between Georgia and Florida. Yeah. Apparently, you don't understand. Florida and Alabama share a border, too. Sure, I do. Alabama is a natural border, LOL. Florida, man. Yeah, well, not all that great. It's possible he's a werewolf. That explains the severe bite that the officer suffered. Yes. I don't know. Chicken and liquor. Nodak, quite the coincidence that the first time they looked up, he was 18. And only 3 days shy of it. Tex Caliber, LOL. Spurg Snake, laughing emoji. Kevin, I hate that feeling when you got hair in your teeth. That's not the kind of hair he wanted to brag about. Nanodak, what a numbskull. Tex Caliber bath salts? Yeah, apparently not. You know, they only mentioned cocaine, marijuana, Molly, something else. Oh, ecstasy. No bath salts. So he doesn't have that excuse. But there you go, you know. That's it for that a-hole. I don't know. Which one will I draw? Not the mommy killer. Not the ones who were bad to their kids. I don't know. The ghost killer lady. I mean, she's cute, but I don't know. Not the guys who let their kid die. Man, none of these are any good. I don't want to draw a werewolf. The embalmer. Yeah, I just, ugh. Yeah, what a letdown, you know. What to do? Oh, I know. I'll do stories about Superman and stuff. That's always fun. Oh, maybe I should change the background. Do I have it in there? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there it is. Where's the turn this one off? And then just like magic, I'm in the NAILSIN rating studio. Isn't that something? That's special. Not really, but we'll go with it. Blah, blah. Oh, I should have done it the old-fashioned way, but I didn't. Oh, yeah, Green Lantern. All right, well, we'll do this one. God damn it. There we go. Black Hen and the Guardians now speculated for the DCU's Lanterns. Perhaps, but maybe not. So there's one of the Guardians. There's Kyle Chandler. There's Hal Jordan in, you know, a suit. And there's the Black Hand. I mean, both hands are black because he wears black gloves and his whole suit's black. But I don't know. He got upset with Hamburger Helper, and that little hand cartoon scared the hell out of him. And, yeah. The DCU Lantern series may be more than meets the eye, as the Black Hand is now speculated along with the Guardians and more. While the official description and info for Lanterns makes it seem as if the series is a grounded Earth-based show, that might not be entirely the case. Yeah, they'll shoot some outer space stuff here and there, maybe flashbacks or whatever, like Hal Jordan's got to take the new rookie Lantern, and the Guardians say, oh, you show him the ropes, Hal. All right. So then there you go. That's an outer space scene. The rest of the show is a soap opera in middle America, you know. And then by the end, probably, becomes a bigger deal, with some sort of aliens. If it's the Black Hand, then they got to deal with him. So anyway, the description offers that Lanterns, Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler, and John Stewart, Aaron Pierre, investigate a mysterious murder in the heartland of America. Well, what could make a pair of Green Lanterns investigate a murder? We may have answers. So there they are. Boy, that looks exciting, huh? But look, if you look closely, there's the ring. Oh, so they're, undercover Lanterns. First up is something interesting from actor Garrett Dillahunt, who appears to be the villain of the series. William Macon described as a modern-day cowboy. Dillahunt revealed that he apparently gets some sort of suit. So here's the quote from Twitter, I guess? I don't know. Good to see the kind of talented folks at Fractured. Oh, yeah, I saw that. No, this was from... Instagram. Let's see what it let me show it. Okay. There he is. And they're putting something on him. This might be private. Probably shouldn't be showing this at all, but he posted it. So this is what he has done in his spare time, It seems like I said, the Black Hand does have sleeves in his suit and pants. So I guess this is like the first part of a suit that they're going to mold that'll fit his body. But that's interesting, because seeing the costumes from the Superman movie, and all those are very loose fitting and wrinkled and baggy and stuff. I wouldn't have thought they'd go through this kind of trouble, but for some reason, Lanterns is going to get, actual skin tight superhero suits. Well, whatever. That's it for that. So, you saw the image of Dillahunt getting his massage and costume fitting. So fans are speculating that Garrett Dillahunt might actually be playing the Green Lantern villain, the Black Hand. It could very well lead into some sort of adaptation of Blackest Night. Well, if they go there immediately, that's a bit foolish, because something like Blackest Night, and this was true of poor stupid Secret Invasion, is you need the setup and for the characters who have died to have come back, to have meaning to the characters who are alive dealing with it. It's basically, space zombie type thing. It's probably their last pretty good crossover event that DC did a long time ago. And but maybe they just introduce him and they want to build to that. I don't know. But to jump into it all of a sudden, it's a little too soon for that. You need to establish your DCU and what have you. Meanwhile, this guy's going to be Sinestro. Next up is actress Purna Jagan Nathan. She Jags Nathan, discussing Lanterns via X. She says, I couldn't have loved the writing for Green Lantern more. Like Deli Boys, the Green Lantern series is extraordinarily well written, and my character is extraordinarily well built. Wow. And also the way I can describe all the characters. We have all the characters we know and love: the Lanterns, the Guardians, Sinestros, more than one. Does she mean the Sinestro Corps? I don't know. And the world is still intact, and everyone is presented as heroes and villains at the same time. And that's what makes the writing so complex, layered, and so wonderful. So, you'll have Sinestro, and he's the bad guy, but at the same time, you might understand why he chose what he did. And that's what, yeah. So I guess they're going to dye his hair black and paint him pink, We already know Ulrich Thompson is playing Sinestro, but we didn't know the Guardians are going to be involved. Well, I kind of thought they might have a cameo or something. The Guardians and Sinestro possibly suggest more than an Earth setting. I think it's going to mainly be an Earth setting because Warner Brothers is broke. But now there'll be some space stuff here and there, And I think it's only 8 episodes. So if you stretch that around whatever money you got available for those scenes, maybe you can make the boring Midwestern soap opera murder mystery thing pass quickly. Because it's Green Lantern. You want to see them flying around and making stuff with their rings and all that. On a side note, casting news for Lanterns includes Nicole Ari Parker as John Stewart's mother, Bernadette. So that at least says Hal Jordan and John Stewart simply aren't going to show up in some Midwestern city, but that at least for Stewart, there will be some sort of backstory. The official description for Bernadette reveals formidable and tenacious. Bernadette refuses to give up, no matter how insurmountable the odds. At her core, she's a fiercely protective mother who has worked her entire life to ensure that she and her family will not be passed over. Now, in the comic books recently, she was suffering from Alzheimer's disease and eventually died, but John Stewart captured her essence in his ring, and so her spirit lives on. Something like that. And, James Gunn has confirmed Lanterns will be released in early 2026. Kelly MacDonald is also playing Sheriff Carey, said to be the love interest of Chandler's Hal Jordan. Really? So no Carol Ferris. I guess they'll go into that. Well, I ruined that relationship. I don't know. The series will consist of 8 episodes. Chris Mundy is the showrunner. He did Ozark. That was a good show. With Damon Lindelof and Tom King co-writing and executive producing. James Howes is directing the first 2 episodes and is also an executive producer. So your best hope is Mundy and House keep those idiots in line. I mean, to give Lindelof after Watchmen any DC property is just stupid. And Tom King, good Lord. So basically, Hal Jordan is just going to be bitter and old and depressed. And then even John Stewart will be crying about his mommy the whole time. So both depressed and whatnot. We'll learn that, maybe Sinestro was right. And the women, Sheriff Kelly will be the real hero and whatnot. And I don't know, the Guardians are all corrupt and assholes. And there'll be some understanding for Black Hand as well. Society wronged him. And Hal Jordan should apologize. And he will. So there you go. That's probably what'll happen. But looks like you'll get some superhero action, a little, and some outer space stuff. That's nice. All right. We'll move right along as I get a little sippy. It's called Coke Zero, and yet it does have flavor. James Gunn shares look at Lois, Mr. Terrific Engineer and Superman. And is excited for Jason Momoa as Lobo. Okay. Well, there he is, flying and whatnot. James Gunn takes to social media to share new looks from his Superman movie. Lois Lane, terrific engineer. Gunn posted the behind-the-scenes images on social media in celebration of Eddie Cathegi. I don't know. I'm getting it wrong. I apologize. He recently celebrated his birthday and the anniversary of the engineer. The pic also featured Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. So he said happy birthday. And so there they are. He's like, did you do it? No. And there's Lois. I guess this is a scene where she interviews Mr. Terrific. So the costumes for the movie are not great, but Mr. Terrific has the best one. You know why? Because that's what Mr. Terrific looks like. I mean, they got it exactly right. The problem is, and I guess maybe this is the deal, that the Guy Gardner Green Lantern and Hawk Girl work for him and his company, and so they got to wear the same type of outfit. But I don't know. But for him, it's perfectly fine. That's Mr. Terrific. So, 1 out of 3, I guess. In a separate tweet, Gunn said, happy anniversary to the engineer created by Warren Ellis. Wow, he actually mentioned Warren Ellis. He got canceled. And Brian Hitch, who you can see played to sinister perfection by Puppy in human form. Gabby DeFaria. And Superman is like, Puppy? He just called her a dog. Well, he's a big dog fan and all that, so I guess from his point of view, it's quite the compliment. So there she is, laying out on the football field. And that doesn't look anything like the engineer. So I don't know if it's in post, they're going to do all the Terminator, silver stuff all over, which is basically and she's able to form machine guns out of her arm and all that stuff. And her hair looks like dreadlocks, but they're not dreadlocks. They're all wires that she can plug into stuff. So I don't know if her hair turns into the wires. I don't know. Pretty gal, though. She's in great shape. But I don't know if this is like before she becomes the engineer, and by the end of the movie, the nanobites get a hold of her. But she's going to be going up against Superman and stuff. So she's got to have some sort of powers. But I don't know. But again, pretty girl. Today also marks the anniversary of Lobo, really, okay, where Jason Momoa, the part he was born to play, will be playing DC's main man in the Supergirl movie. So a cameo, obviously leading to a Lobo movie, which is actually the movie I thought James Gunn should be directing, not Superman. I just don't think he's the guy for Superman. Hopefully he proves me wrong. But definitely Lobo. I mean, that's like Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy melded together. He would totally, what's the word? Achieve that? Nail it, whatever. So anyway, July 11th, 2025. Hey, that's this year. We'll see the film. Gee, I hope it works out. Supergirl. And that's another thing, talking about the money and whatnot, but Supergirl is a story that takes place entirely in outer space and on alien planets and whatnot. But I guess they're going to do the volume room thing on it. And Grant, if you know how to shoot that, it won't necessarily be bad. But if you don't, you end up with crap like Kenobi and stuff like that. So, starring Millie Alcock, known for HBO's Game of Thrones. No, not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. She wasn't in Game of Thrones, but close enough. Eve Ridley, don't know her, playing Ruthie. That's the girl who hires Supergirl to go after this guy, Matthias Schoenart's Crim of the Yellow Hills, because he went out there and pissed all over those hills. Actually, he murders Ruthie's father and all that. But anyway, it's True Grit. It's just Supergirl is John Wayne. That's Tom King's genius, See, for Lanterns, he's going to rip off top to bottom, True Detective, just with space cops. That's all he knows how to do. So Supergirl is John Wayne in True Grit, but it's Supergirl in space. But top to bottom, it's the same damn plot. It's either that or, crying about mommy all the time and seeking her in other women. Hey, that's fun, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you got to look for with Tom King. So all of this, of course, depends on Superman being a big, big, big winner this year at the theaters. And that's a tall order, even if the movie's good. It can't just be good. It's got to be great. Because you can cry about how unfair it is and all that, but that's the situation. Anyway, James Gunn's Superman make or break for Warner Brothers amid saffron DCU exit rumors. Slay. So there he is flying. I know the eye, but they're blowing his face with air, and it's only for a second, so I don't see the big deal. But anyway, rumors are swirling around Warner Brothers Discovery, including claims that the fate of the company rests on the mighty shoulders of James Gunn's Superman. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. That's probably true. Yeah. What are you going to do, They did some dumb crap leading up to this, and here you are. It's also said that DCU co-head Peter Safran may exit the DCU amid a possible promotion within the company, as current Warner Brothers film heads Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy are rumored to be on the chopping block. Hey, I wonder why. Well, yeah. The report comes from Puck News, that's with a P, which breaks down the state of Warner Brothers Media's film division under DeLuca and Abdy, following what appears to be another box office bomb with Mickey 17 starring Robert Pattinson. Hey, he plays Batman, and directed by Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho of Parasite fame. He said he would only do a franchise film if it could be a musical adaptation of Alien. The more I think about it. But anyway, the article breaks down the various executives involved who might be to blame, and toward the end brings up James Gunn, Peter Safran, Superman, and the importance of DC's IP. So they're blaming each other here, according to Puck News, again, that's with a P. The rumor around Tinseltown is that David Zaslav might fire Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy and replace them with Peter Safran or someone new, who currently co-heads the DCU with James Gunn. Zaslav's rep has denied the rumor about DeLuca and Abdy. There's also no mention of what would happen to the DCU if Safran gets promoted to head of Warner Brothers Films. But it still raises questions. Would James Gunn take over the DCU entirely, or would a new co-head be brought in? Gunn has made it clear that Safran handles the business side while he focuses on the creative. So it seems likely a new executive would join Gunn and share DCU duties. Duties. Yeah, that's probably what would happen, because I don't think he has any interest in the business side, and probably doesn't have the skill for it, so it would be someone else if Safran were to go there. But Safran's got to prove that DCU is going to work, and your first big telltale sign of it will be Superman. If that flops, this whole thing's in terrible trouble. I mean, yeah, you got Supergirl coming in the Lantern show, but I think those end up being things that just get dumped out there because of Superman. I mean, is a complete flop. Man, it's going to be pure panic time over there. So there's the thing from Puck News, looking at Peter Safran. Now, the relationship between him and Safran might be really good and all that, but he's got to deliver something. And they've been working on this and building it up, but it hasn't really started yet. It'll start in July. Creature Commandos, okay, but everything else in the leftover movies, it's not really attributed to them. So the article's comments on Superman are pretty interesting, especially considering what Matt McCloy's DC insiders have said about Zaslav demanding that James Gunn reboot the DCU using cheaper talent because, again, Warner Brothers is broke. And that's not Zaslav's fault. He's the guy who came in to try to save this thing and fix it, So that's what he inherited. But, you got to do this on the cheap. So from what Matt was told, the original plan under DeLuca was to continue with the much more expensive DCEU. So basically the talent, Cavill and Godot and Affleck and all them would have been more costly to pay them to continue on. And you would really have to cheapen the movies. I don't know, the Justice League movie where they sit around and talk about their feelings, in hallways and at a restaurant or something. And that'd be all you could do. No one wants to see that. So it decided, look, it's been stumbling around anyway. Let's just scrap it and we'll start over with, new cast and whatnot. And then, of course, Gunn says, yeah, but what about my projects? Okay, you can keep those. So the Puck News article, and yes, again, that is with a P, also highlights how DeLuca has a tendency to overspend. Oh, boy, that's a problem. While Zaslav is portrayed as a penny pincher focused on cutting costs. Well, when you're in trouble financially, you need that guy to do that. So especially when it comes to marketing. So, yeah, not a lot of marketing for them. That's a problem as well. But if you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. That seems to line up with what we've seen so far with Superman, as most of the promotion has come directly from Gunn himself. Yeah. While it was recently reported that a marketing consultant was brought on for Superman, Puck, with a P, makes no mention of it. So this is from Puck News, busy with their own project of their own. The July release that has now taken on almost incalculable importance to Warner Brothers Discovery. If Warner's can't finally make the DC franchise work, there is genuine fear that the studio will go the way of Fox, which was swallowed up by Disney in 2019. Well, they're not going to Disney. Disney can't swing that anymore. Oh, look, is this the backup plan? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Anyway, what's also interesting is the article's comment about Warner Brothers Discovery possibly going the way of Fox. From what Matt McCloy's been told, Zaslav always intended to sell Warner Brothers Discovery. From the time Discovery and WB emerged, I've heard Comcast Universal has been eyeing WBD for some time. He's also been told that when Zaslav sells WBD, he wants to retain control of Discovery. So they'll split it up again, but he's got to polish, the turd and hope it's good enough to get the best deal possible from Comcast. So, McCloy previously suggested, as basically backed by Variety, that Zaslav's current moves with WBD are part of an effort to make the company look good for a potential sale. What happens if Superman fails? So what happens after a sale is anyone's guess, but it's worth mentioning that both Zack Snyder and James Gunn got their start at Universal. Yeah, that is interesting. Is Universal interested in bringing in Zack Snyder as well? But ultimately, Snyder has, made noises about wanting to do Dark Knight Returns. And Dark Knight Returns could be a movie that's one of their Elseworlds things, and it's a one-and-done type project. That's not going to, restore Snyderverse and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, possibly. But yeah, they did. That's where they started. I also wouldn't be surprised if Matt Reeves is clashing with Zaslav over the budget for The Batman Part 2 and the future of DC, which could explain some of the delays. But that's just my guess. There's also been online speculation that Reeves is waiting to see if Gunn's Superman is a success or not. Well, yeah, because if it's not, then all they have left is his Batman movies. You know? And that's probably what they'll rely on. They'll finish that up and then, I don't know, wait a bit, recast Batman, and just go back to doing Batman movies, depending on where they land, you know? So, yeah, that's that. And plus, I also thought, you know, the Penguin TV show got, you know, a lot of good buzz and whatnot. So they probably want to pump up Penguin's presence in the sequel. Stuff like that. But anyway, there's a lot riding on Gunn's Superman. DC's value as an IP is part of Warner Brothers' stock price. And Superman is the first major test. If the movie flops, the fallout could be huge for Gunn, Safran, DC Studios, and possibly the studio itself. Well, there you go. That's what Puck News thinks. And again, that is with a P. And also adds, it's not Mike and Pam's fault at the movie because they really don't have anything to do with it. They were going to go, well, let's just have Henry Cavill show up at the end of the Flash movie with Supergirl. And, you know, in a lot of ways, narratively, kind of wish it went that way. I wanted to see another Cavill Superman movie, but you just can't have nice things. But apparently they're in trouble now because Mickey 17 flopped. Apparently there was also a story where Zaslav cussed them out over Joker 2. I mean, jeez. Oh, man. What the hell, you know? But, yeah, he had to have been really pissed over that. So hopefully this does work out. I want a good Superman movie. But again, like I said, it can even be a good movie and it won't be enough. And that's not the fault of Gunn and the rest, really. That's the situation they're in. And I just think he should have looked for someone he thought would make a better match for it. For a Superman movie, but it didn't happen. So best of luck, Superman. Hopefully, you know, you fly and all. Well, he'll fly, but, you know, hopefully the movie soars to new heights and everyone's happy and we get a lot of cool movies out of the deal. Maybe. All right, let's wrap up the chat here. Yes, that concludes your news. So that was the entertainment, preceded by all the horrible, nasty murders and that sort of stuff. You know, what are you going to do? It's the world. Wow, there's a lot of comments on this. Okay, I think, yeah, the teeth in your hair. Hair in your teeth. Okay. Excuse me. These are tough choices tonight. Yeah, I decided to bail on all of them. I joke a lot about dark subject matter. I mean, if you check out New York City Crime Report, sometimes, yeah, I'm all guilt-ridden. But, man, some of these people, you know, I mean, they're all disgusting anyway, but geez Louise, you know, I mean, well, it's the fentanyl, I guess. You know, they can chalk it up to that as to how you can just ignore a child like that. But anyway, Susan Dolan, try one more story. Well, I went on to, you know, Superman and Green Lantern, you know. Sure, there's troubles there, but at least it didn't involve anything that horrible. Tex Caliber, it's getting beyond fate. Need to watch The Shining to clean my mind before I sleep. It was getting beyond late. I'm sorry. Yeah. That should help you rest easy. The Shining. Susan Dolan, what? No Sinestro? No, they got a Sinestro. Kevin, yes, draw the Green Lantern. Screw those criminals. Yeah, I've drawn quite a few Green Lanterns for this. Oh, I could do that. Anyway, the Black Hand, not as scary as the Backhand. Yeah, why not? That could be a villain. Oh no, John. It's my old arch enemy. Backhand. His name is what? Nodak, is there a lantern whose name is Tiki? Shouldn't there be? Kevin, actress Porna, interesting name. Yeah. Susan Dolan, wait, they're making an old guy as Sinestro? Yeah, and I'm thinking that's another, yeah, good point. Um, Actually, in that Green Lantern movie, Mark Strong did a really great Sinestro, but anyway, I'm thinking like Hal Jordan, they've cast an older man in that role. And so Sinestro being his main nemesis would also be older. And that's probably it for the Hal Jordan iteration of Green Lantern. I suspect he will not survive this show. And going forward, John Stewart will be their main Green Lantern when they eventually get to a Justice League film and stuff like that. They're already talking. They're hoping they can get a second season for Lanterns, but I'm guessing that would be John Stewart and maybe another Lantern. Don't know if they would introduce not Kyle Chandler. That's Kyle Rayner, the character, stuff like that. But a lot of this is stuff they've had sitting in a drawer for quite a while. There were rumors of a Green Lantern movie that would have been this, space cop buddy scenario, but it would have been in space and all of that. And at one time, the rumor was they were chasing Tom Cruise to play Hal Jordan. And it was still the same type premise. He's training the rookie John Stewart. They have their adventure, and that Hal Jordan was to die at the end of that or disappear or something like that. And then John Stewart would be the Green Lantern for the DCEU and all that. And I guess showing up in the Justice League sequels, should they have gotten to them, which they didn't. But they never got around to it, and all that fell apart and what have you. But nevertheless, the templates and stuff were still there. So now say, well, we really can't afford this big space epic thing. Hey, let's send him to Middle America. But basically the same thing. He's training a new Green Lantern, and he's nearing retirement and all that. So that means the Green Lantern Hal Jordan stories, which are the bulk of Green Lantern stories for decades, you don't get. Now, John Stewart has had his own stories, and there's one particular story that's actually quite, a great character development type thing, but the arrogance of power and stuff like that. But that's about it. I mean, it would be cool for them to play that out and everything, but basically they're just going to give him Hal Jordan stories, because I'm guessing like Sinestro will probably stick around. Now, he's the most recognizable, if anyone recognized outside of comic book nerds like myself, of Green Lantern's villains. So it's just kind of, you're doing this, So anyway, that's unfortunate as well. But and I mean, he said, well, if they give a rollicking great story, it's a great story, and there's a certain time limit on the abilities with your cast and whatnot to continue this as akin to comic book series, which go on forever. So sure, but it's like right out the gate you do that, but I can't be too optimistic about great stories because look at the writing staff. So they got the Ozark guy there, but I mean, after sitting through Watchmen and then reading some of Tom King's comics, like, just, it's unfortunate. Because when they first announced it, Lantern, that sounds interesting. It was one of the few that Gunn announced that I thought was interesting for their projects, And then, those guys. Again, hopefully I'm wrong, but anyway. Nodak, I got some symptoms showing up. My head is starting to change into the shape of a fez. Also, my car always shrinks when I get into it. The doctor says I have a case of Alt Schreiner's disease. Well, it happens. Nodak, sorry, that joke was a stretch. Stealth Chaos, is Gabby DeFaria good at Doogie style sex? Doogie style. Stealth Chaos, I meant to write doggy, but Dougie also works. Dougie style. By a staggering coincidence, that is the Susan Dolan, hail Stealth Chaos. Stealth Chaos, for me, the engineer will always be one of those large, bald dudes that created the alien ectomorph. Man, that's what they put all those together in that Romulus movie. And Romulus, it had some cool scenes and stuff, but it was basically just repetitive templates of the previous movies, and a lot of stupid. I mean, there's no way that Nostromo debris is still there. Now, she did kick the alien out of the shuttle, so it could be floating around in ice. So, okay, that part. But man, when they got to the end and the alien baby is part engineer and alien, that looked like crap. I mean, people were complaining about the android scenes and all that, but good Lord, that was awful. Well, whatever. It made money, so they're doing another one. So anyway, Stealth Chaos, Susan Dolan. Hail, Susan, daughter of Dolan. Stealth Chaos. I heard that Mickey 17 was a real roll call of DEI tropes. More than likely. And I think that's, they got these projects and stuff they're going to have to dump out. And so he's like, hey, things are changing. Why are they still doing this? And of course, that's not always true. I mean, that casting news about the Harry Potter series. I'm like, because if DC flops and collapses, Harry Potter's is all they got left. And you piss off that fan base. I guess you just don't want to make it. I don't know. But yeah, the DEI tropes in there. But I think Mickey 17 was a movie that got delayed quite a bit. It was supposed to have come out much earlier, but whatever. People get a whiff of that. They won't show up if it's in the movie and they see that, even if it's like kind of minor and stuff. You just can't do it. It's like, like the race swapping and gender swapping and stuff. It's like, well, that's it. It's over before it began. Stealth Chaos, Superman should have a bibby, and then we can have Super Bibby movie. Super Bibby. That would be something. Well, they almost did, with the DC EU. Lois was pregnant with Super. I know the original plot was Batman's baby, Bibby, but come on. So, yeah, and they would have brought in Supergirl. She could have been the babysitter, while he has to fight Brainy. See, the movie makes it so. Oh, well, can't have nice things. Stealth Chaos post Weinstein is better to be a penny pincher than an ass pincher. But what about the girl's name, Penny? Canadian Spider-Man. Hello there, Douglas Nelson, Mr. Nelson. Hello, Canadian Spider-Man. Canadian Spider-Man says hello at Susan Dolan. Stealth Chaos says Canadian Spider-Man. Stealth Chaos. Canadian Spider-Man. Second City Television was probably miles better than SNL. Oh, yeah, easily. Especially that soap opera sketch, Days of the Week. I can't get enough of that. Stealth Chaos, Dark Knight 2, even darker. There you go. Right now, one of us is like, damn it, why didn't we think of that? Oh, well. Pale Ale, hi, everyone. Seems like Superman came just in time. Well, that's the hope. Pale Ale and Aquaman, I believe. Yeah, Aquaman 2 actually didn't do that bad, and I guess the first one's still better, but it wasn't that, well, in some ways, the second one was, I don't know, it wasn't that bad, but whatever. It was done. Stealth Chaos, Matt Reeves, Christopher Reeve. Oh, the irony. And don't forget George, of course. Pell Cavill is the modern day Superman. IMHO. Yeah, but you know, they moved on. I was hoping he could get a shot at James Bond, but since Amazon took over, and he's working for Amazon, his Warhammer series, and I guess that Voltron movie that he's in is theirs. Um, so they can cast him. They already have a relationship there. But oh my god, look what they did to Lord of the Rings. Holy crap! Imagine what they'll do. Because see, when there's projects that seem okay, and you're like, oh, I can't believe it's from this studio, whatever. It's one of those that's smaller and they don't pay that much attention to it, so they leave it alone. They're not going to leave James Bond alone. I mean, look at the money they spent just to get rid of Barbara Broccoli. So, and even the idea of a James Bond universe thing, and again, I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah. Stealth Chaos Pale still cannot read your username without thinking you are Superman's dad. He's his uncle. Not Supergirl's dad, this other brother that Jor-El and Zor-El never talk about. They don't talk about him now because they're all dead. But Pell-El survived, so you tell me which ones was the smartest. Susan Dolan, hail Canadian Spider-Man. Susan Dolan, hail Pell-El. Pell-El, Stealth Chaos, LOL. That's Jor-El, Pell-El, his bastard retarded son. Oh, son! Oh, so this is Kal-El's long-lost brother. That's why my avatar is Superman as Terminator. Jeez. Looking for Sarah Connor. Pell-El, oh man, I got here late. Yeah, it's almost over. Pell-El, hell you, Susan Dolan. I hope you unite as well. Stealth Chaos, everyone knows the party don't start until Pell-El shows up. All right. It started, but it's about to end. Stealth Chaos, Pell-El, Stealth Chaos. I just watched all of the Cobra Kais. Never saw it before, man. Much better than I could have thought. That's what I hear. One of these days, gonna have to binge that myself. That it was this strange anomaly in the woke era, that this was, basically a sequel to a beloved franchise that was handled well and with respect. Who'd have thunk it? Actually be respectful to a property. It's weird, but it happened. Stealth Chaos at Pell-El. I think you tried to explain to me before, but I am slow and white, and I get electroshock every Monday, and my mind is literally wiped. Like in Severance? Stealth Chaos at Pell-El. I heard great things, but I never even saw the movies. Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen the movies either. See? So I got to watch those first. And then the Cobra Kai's. Pell-El, the Stealth Chaos. So, you are my twin. My electroshocks are on Wednesdays. Why we never saw each other. Stealth Chaos, Pell-El, you spelled electroshock properly, so you rock, and I fail. Doug can only read what is written, so this will not be good. It wasn't, was it? Susan Dolan, backhand, is that a night-night villain? Well, it might as well be. Sure, why not? Pell-El, DC can do so much better. Even MCU screwed us. The original Thanos story on why he killed off half the people was woke and lame. The real comic story is much better. Yeah, he's in love with death. Hey, that's crazy. I know. That's why they call him the Mad Titan. You just said Mad Titan in the movie, but that, you got to show, not tell. And look, they cast Aubrey Plaza. Look, not praising Agatha series at all, but they cast Aubrey Plaza as Death. And so then you could understand Thanos' position, because, oh my God, that woman is gorgeous. And got a weird, crazy sexy about her too, See, then you would understand why he says, I'm going to kill half the universe for a chance with this girl. I'm going to do it. It's like, yeah, I understand. Pell-El, oh yeah, I read that one. Pell-El, Susan Dolan, LOL, the backhand is the preferred weapon of most pimps. Yeah, so he was a pimp. Night got him arrested, sent him to prison. So he comes back as the backhand. Stealth Chaos, they should remake it as the Black Lantern and stop being so racist. Yeah, one day they'll learn. Pell-El, Green Lantern, green privilege. Well, you've seen what that ring can do. Talk about your privilege. Talk about your power. I am developing a superhero called Koran Man, whose superpower is the ability to groom underage UK girls and make them into prostitutes. Yeah, that's not quite like there was a character called Bible Man that the guy from who played Tommy on Eight Is Enough played the character. Was teach kids about God and stuff, but he didn't do that. Quran Man. Anyway, Stealth Chaos, they are developing a sequel to Alien Romulus. It's called Alien Uncle Remus. It's pretty woke. I'm surprised they would mention Uncle Remus. The alien's going to be walking around with a bunch of cartoon birds flying, and he's zippity doo dah, zippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. And then the fighting starts. Spitting acid everywhere. Kills all the birds, Pell-El, LOL at Ass Pincher Penny Pincher. Yeah. Penny Pincher is a character I did. Doomcock did the voice for it. In Night, that was one of the villains. Pell-El, Cavill is so underrated and underappreciated. Yeah, well, it's sad. Plus, they kept screwing him around, They screwed up his face in that stupid Justice League reshoot. And then only offered him cameos for the other DC movies. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do a Superman movie. So then they basically blacklisted him, apparently. So, I mean, good Lord. He did get to play Wolverine for a few seconds in that. And it's weird that he's the only other actor to play the character, which one wonders. There's always these rumors that he was in talks, and I just assumed, oh, it was talks for him to do that cameo. But maybe. But will the MCU survive long enough for him to take on that role? In a new X-Men franchise? Probably not. Kevin, I think I'm going to be saying Superman the way Doug says it all day tomorrow. Well, it's the proper way to say it, isn't it? I heard Pell-El also invented the Pell Grant. Very impressive. A lot of kids got their education thanks to Pell. Thanks, Pell-El. There's no Superman grant, is there? No. Stealth Chaos, Doug and I did not see the Karate Kid movies, i.e., we are not infants. Yeah, it's true. Pell-El at Nodak, the Pell Grant was a Ponzi scheme that went bad. I was trying to scam people, and it turned into something good. Another one of my failures. Well, look on the bright side. At least you didn't get sent to the Phantom Zone. Stealth Chaos, Aubrey Plaza is back on the market, Doug. Get her on the pod as a guest. Oh, that's right. Yeah, her husband died. I think she needs to be left alone for a while, My condolences. Stealth Chaos, oh, we know Bible Man, Doug. We know. We even know there were 2 of them. 2 Bible men from the multiverse, and they crossed over and met. Or a different actor took over. I don't know. Whatever. Stealth Chaos 2. Oh, yes, of course. Pumpkin Spiced Heroin says, why, hello, Pumpkin. And you know what this is? The end of the show. Don't take it personally. But I've read all my stories. After I ran out of those, then I had to start talking about the Superman movie and Green Lantern. Oh boy, that's what I did. And that's about it. I could do one more, though. I did spot something in the margin since we've been talking about Henry Cavill and all that. And then this little story came along that might check out. Oh, sure. I see how it is. Look, I'm giving you one more story now that you show Susan Dolan. Hey, Doug, if you make backhand a night, what villain would that mean? I get residuals? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard you before. This will be completely scrubbed. Oh, damn it. I got it up on the screen. Yeah, sure, whatever. Years later, it's like the movies and everything. This bastard stole my idea. Go away, go away. Stealth Chaos, Statute of Limitations, Doug. Draw her nude portrait. Who? Pell, there are many Bible men where I live. They knock on doors and try to make everyone aware God exists, usually on Sundays. You mean the Jehovah's Witnesses? You know, I guess you call them Bible men. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't know. Not Superman. Where's the? There it is. This one. I mean, he was Superman, but then he was robbed. I tell you, robbed. No, he was not Rob Sald. So here we are. Woke James Bond scrapped. Reportedly will be male and British following Backlash. Yeah, this is some AI art someone did where it's the female Bond, and it's I believe this is the woman who was in that Wicked movie. You know, but everybody knows who should get the role. I mean, look, he looks like Bond already. If you haven't seen his Man from Uncle movie, do check it. It flopped and bombed, but it's a good movie. It's fun. I mean, Army Hammer's in it. We didn't know about his hobby then. But yeah, you get a lot. He says, yeah, this guy could do Bond. And of course, there's that tape of his audition. He tried, but Daniel Craig won out. So there you go. It, you know, in a sane world, that would happen. And you would do a Bond movie like, oh, I don't know, a Bond movie. So anyway, James Bond could be in good hands with new owner Amazon, reportedly. It's now said the new 007 will be both male and British. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he won't be gay. There's still that possibility. Plus, you know, Moneypenny will be the one who really did everything, stuff like that. He just takes credit for all her hard work, you know? So anyway, last week saw the report from the Hollywood Reporter offer that Amazon Studios wanted to make James Bond a female. And how do you keep calling her, if it's a woman, is it Jane? But wasn't there a porno called Jane Bond? But or Jamie, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, and have spin-offs featuring diverse representations of characters in a Marvel-style cinematic universe. Ooh, baby. It was reported that longtime owner Barbara Broccoli put the kibosh on Amazon's ideas. Well, the problem now is that Broccoli sold all the rights to Amazon and no longer has creative control. So there's Bond, Jane Bond. Following the Hollywood Reporter's report, fans exploded in unison online. I know on our Facebook page alone, we reached over 3 million fans who don't want any woke. I gotta say, even my video on James Bond, a lot of people watch that. Hardly my videos get hardly any view. So something about Bond, you know, people want a really good James Bond movie, you know. So anyway, reach 3 million fans who don't want any woke replacements. Typically what happens when a character is replaced is the message is sent, and it's all about agenda instead of a quality story. Often the original character is shit upon, as are the longtime creators and fans. Yeah, they approach this as say, look, we're finally fixing James Bond. See, that's what they think. You know, see how they fixed Star Trek and Star Wars and Doctor Who. See, they fixed it. The fans don't want that happening to this 60-plus year history of James Bond as it has been done to Doctor Who. So there's Danny. The good news is that we got word from the Daily Mail, who says their sources say Amazon has revealed the gender of the next 007 following fears the James Bond franchise has been taken over by woke Hollywood. The site claims James Bond will be male and British. There have been so many erroneous rumors about the future of Bond. Amazon is committed to keeping the spirit of Bond alive. And that means he has to be British or from the Commonwealth. And he has to be male. So you think he'll look like any of these guys? Maybe David Niven. It was previously reported that Amazon owner Jeff Bezos took action after the Wall Street Journal quoted Broccoli calling Amazon executives fucking idiots. Reportedly, Bezos then ordered her removal, saying, I don't care what it costs. Get rid of her. According to the Daily Mail, Bezos is a big Bond fan. Oh, really? And sent out a company-wide memo to keep Bond male and British. Jeff is a massive Bond fan, and while he's excited to see how Amazon can take the franchise forward, there are certain things which are sacrosanct. That's why the memo went out this week, to reassure everyone. However, the site says James Bond could still be a POC. But certain things are up for discussion, like whether the next Bond should be played by a man of color. So he won't look like this guy. Pierce Brosnan has also chimed in, who played James Bond from 1995 to 1992. No, you mean 92. He traveled back in time to 1995. Anyway, as the Irish actor told the UK's The Telegraph, that the new Bond should not be American and should remain British. It takes great courage for them to let go. I hope that Amazon handles the work and the character with dignity and imagination and respect. History has been passed on, and I'm very proud to have been part of the history and the legacy of Bond and the movies I made with Barbara and Michael. Currently among fans, Henry Cavill is the fan favorite choice to continue as 007. And of course, on the plus side is he has a working relationship with Amazon now. It's kind of a no-brainer, you know, but man, places are still infested with the woke. And even though, you know, they're getting rid of DEI and stuff. The other plus on this is Bezos has recognized this in some elements. He certainly reined in the Washington Post. So a lot of them quit and, you know, had a hissy fit and all that. And he's like, fine, you know. That's interesting as a news outlet and all this sort of thing. And with in response to the election and so on and so forth for him to do that. And if he really is a James Bond fan, then perhaps there is some hope here. I still don't like the expanded universe deal, and that's not necessarily new. Way back when Pierce Brosnan was still Bond, the Halle Berry character she played, there was serious talk of her getting a spinoff movie. But a lot of this of like the Moneypenny series, I don't know, like maybe a Felix Leiter series. Yeah, I could kind of see that, but they're all background characters for the purposes of James Bond's adventures. You know, to develop that further, you get far afield of what it all is and stuff. So I don't know. Um, uh, I suppose someone who has a clever idea and take on it might be able to pull something like that off in different aspects of it. But would it be compelling enough that if it's so far afield from the aesthetics and aspects of James Bond, it's like, what's the point? This could just be its own show with your own original character and that sort of thing. Um, but to say, man, buddy, wouldn't it be cool to have this big franchise that has just tons of movies and shows? Well, you saturate your product. James Bond was a film series, and there would be, sometimes quite a few years in between and whatnot. And yet it lasted all this time in spite, Cold War coming to an end and all that sort of thing. So it's proven itself. It doesn't need you to fix it in any shape or matter. It's just a matter of your approach. What do you want to do? A lot of people suggest go back to the past, revisit the novels, and try to do a more faithful adaptation of those stories and that sort of thing. Might be a take. And you'd be full within the original element of James Bond and all that. The more I think about it, that would be a good approach for a lot of things. I kind of thought DC should have just done that with Superman and Batman, put them in the 40s. That's how we're going to do it different than Marvel. Well, then that would be. But anyway, best of luck for James Bond. Because even now, they're going to need it. Because there's a lot of woke sharks in those choppy waters because they're doing the chopping, All right, there you go. I gave Pumpkin Spice Heroine something to watch. Susan Dolan, hey, Doug, if you make Backhand and Night, would that, you already read that one, yeah. Statute of Limitations, there are many Bible men, Aubrey, my dude, Aubrey. Well, yeah. Pell, yes, that was where I was going with my lame joke. Stealth Chaos, Doug has a lot on his mind. Ain't that the truth? And the worst of it is the stuff I don't remember. Pell, I never liked Jameis Bond, but he is a British man. Maybe you didn't mean that you meant James. I thought you were making a female name for the character. And then he is. That's another possibility. Will James Bond be trans? Could happen. Pell, if that lady became James Bond, I would shit talk God's mouth until he came down to start Armageddon and end all this. Boy, you're really dedicated. Stealth Chaos, that wicked creature is a demon from hell. Mrs. Will Smith in an even more disgusting form. Good Lord. Yeah, Jada Pinkett, man, what an awful person. Man. And what did Will Smith do to deserve that punishment? Oh. Pell, Jane Bond porn? I can see a bondage flick called Chain Bonds. Yeah, probably. Kevin, I think Jenna Jameson played Bond in the porno. Really? Well. Stealth Chaos, they already made her into Black Queer Jesus. Oh, that's right. I forgot. For Jesus Christ Superstar. James Bond seems quite mild at this point. Yeah, really. I mean, hey, who else haven't we desecrated? Oh, yeah. Pell, instead of Odd Job, the name would be Hand Job. Pussy Galore's name won't change. Well, it'll be something else galore. But Pell, Black Queer Jesus. What is this blasphemy you speak? She was cast as Jesus in a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. Because of course she was. Stealth Chaos, good news is that her partner in crime, Ariana Grande, has drunk some bad and adrenochrome and may not be around to torment us that much. Geez, she got poisoned? Wow. I didn't know that. Pell, I think she's doing Jesus Christ Superstar, but it might just have been a nightmare. She's doing it. Yeah. Stealth Chaos, I had. Sorry, Dougie. Okay. Pell, hey, pumpkin spice heroine. I didn't see this since most of us are over on YouTube chat. Pell, I bounce back and forth. Yeah, you can do that. Pell, Ariana is looking literally scary these days. Okay, well. Oh, crap. I mean, is she one of those that started the Ozempic when she's already pretty thin? Is that what she did? That's for us diabetics, not for you terrified of adulthood maniacs. Stealth Chaos, I would not cast her as Frau Frabistina in an Frabistinese. I can't say it, in an Austin Powers remake. Stealth Chaos at Pell, wait till you hear her talk. Cry. I mean, Ariana? Stealth Chaos at Pell, you not on Twitter, my dude? Nodak, how would James Bond even work now? Look into a crowd and ask someone to pick out who Bond is. They point at the guy in a suit among everyone else in sweatpants. Easy to spot. Yeah, no. How are you guys? He's got to be incognito. So is Bond going to be in a t-shirt and sweats and flip-flops, But of course, the flip-flops would contain, guns, a phone, whatever. Pell Nodak, you make a great point. Maybe James Bond should be a rapugee to fit in with the community. Pell, yes, she looks like Skeletor. Good Lord. Well, she's not getting that role for that crappy He-Man movie they're making, which is just going to be shot out in the parking lot of a McDonald's or something, because Jared Leto has been cast as Skeletor. It probably should have been Ariana, But she's not going to get it. So that's that. Oh, well, I guess Pete Davidson really broke her heart. I don't know. All right, there you go. Wow, over 2 hours. Wow. We did it. We did it. All right, so we learned a lot today. Ariana is starving herself to death. Bond might be male and British, but okay. But what else? Still don't know. A lot of creepy people were terrible to kids, and a woman castrated a sex offender after he was dead and fed him his own dick. I don't know. A woman married to a Ghost Adventure cast member tried to send him to the ghosts. Some parents didn't want to take their girl to school, so she got lost walking in the street. But the police found her. Don't worry, it's fine. What else happened? Something else, but I forget. Anyway, and then Superman movie is Warner Brothers' last chance to live. And the Lantern Show, we saw some details, but I don't know. I don't. So that's where we'll conclude. Pell, they are not remaking He-Man. Please tell me the Drago one in the 80s kind of sucked. No, they're remaking it, and it's probably, he's going to come to Earth and hang out. It looks stupid. And because, they don't have any money. Leto sucks. Well, he's going to suck some more. Oh, he's also got a Tron movie, which takes place in the real world on Earth. Because, again, There's no money anymore. Stealth Chaos, it's been a downhill since Fight Club and Requiem. Pretty much, yeah. Susan Nolan, unfortunately, they are making a He-Man reboot. I've seen the pictures. Joe Lamont, Bond played by Bieber, directed by Kevin Smith, DC's head explode. Yeah, sure, why not? Stealth Chaos, She-Man, am I right? He looks like a dude, but, current era, I don't know. Nodak, I do love Lito's endorsed Mexican food. The Jared Leto burritos are delicious. Wow. So there is something he achieved. Pell L, Susan Dolan, oh no, I look up on YouTube after. I'm literally nervous. Oh, the He-Man movie? Yeah, it's just abandon all hope, ye who enter here. You're not getting a He-Man movie that's worth a damn. I'm sorry. So that's just the way it goes. You can't, again, like I say, you can't have nice things. I don't know if any of these little beloved franchises of the past, I mean, in some ways, is anything going to breathe and fill the void? I would assume, but then the whole template and nature of the industry is shattered. So who the hell knows? But can any of them? I don't. Going through this, Star Wars is pretty badly damaged. Doctor Who is pretty badly. Star Trek, again, that one you can just scrap everything and start over and forget the other crap, and you'd probably be fine. But it seems unlikely that they'll be smart enough to do that. So I don't know. They're going to remake Time Tunnel and make a shared universe with it and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Planet of the Giants. I guess they're not going to buy because Lost in Space was already redone. And anyway, even if you included Lost in Space in that group, they get lost in space, so they'd never meet. So it would be like maybe the first episode they have a crossover and then you never see them together again. So what would be the point? But yeah. Oh boy, are you ready for that shared universe? Well, it's coming, whether you like it or not. Stealth Chaos at Nodak Lullers. Kevin, thanks, Doug. See you next time. Thanks, Kevin. We'll see you next time too. Pell L, Stealth Chaos. Ha! I guess you were an adult. He-Man had a female clone, She-Ra. A She-Ra. Everything the same except with a girl. And she had a horsey, didn't she? That flew? Can't remember. Anyway, Stealth Chaos. I didn't watch that gay coded cartoon. I mean, in his off time, He-Man would lounge around in pink and purple pantyhose, Joe Lamont, He-Man marries Bond. Okay, could be. Pell L, Stealth Chaos. I loved all those shows, and I'm not gay, just pathetic. Stealth Chaos at Pell L. Someone had to buy the toys. Yeah, it kept the economy going, It served its purpose. The toys was originally supposed to be Conan the Barbarian. But as they were developing it, and they knew the movie was coming out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything, and they started, he's involved in orgies with all these naked broads and all that stuff. Plus, he's just slaughtering people with swords and axes and all that. Do we really want to have a toy brand attached to this? Because, what if the parents take their kids to see the movie thinking it's this silly little fantasy adventure? So we made these figures. What do we do with them? So they just repainted them as He-Man. And they were off to the races. And was it Marvel Comics or who they contacted? Hey, could you write up a backstory for all this? And there you go. Pell L, she did have a horse. He-Man had, Cringer the cat. Yeah. Stealth Chaos, more of a Banana Splits man myself. Yeah, what about the Banana Splits franchise? That could be a shared universe. Are they going to cross them over with the new zoo review? Yeah, sure. Why not? Might as well. All right. Thanks for spending some time with me. We'll do it again, hopefully soon. But this is the end. It is. Beautiful friend. The end. I was a Johnny Quest kid. Yeah, me too. That was interesting. You know, that's one of the cartoons where they did do the blackout shading and all the figures and it's still animated well. That's interesting. I wonder if it took extra long. I imagine it did. Anyway, there you go. Good night, everybody.
Killers, killing and killing and killing and killing. NAILSIN news. Where all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing and killing. NAILSIN news. Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? NAILSIN news.